You described yourself as walking around with this sort of shaved head just to get into role. And just explain to us a little bit about what it takes to sort of do what you do.
Yeah, sure, because a lot of people don't really know how it works. There's two different, we've all played creatures in creature suits and prosthetics. And the difference between the two is creature suits is you wear a suit and you put an animatronic head on, and then it's operated, puppeteered by someone, you do the body. Whereas you can be an actor and a character in prosthetics, but actually stick it to your face. And as Riz was saying there, it's a lot easier when you're getting things stuck to you to actually have your head shaved and bald so that it'll come off. You don't have to wear bald caps and bad luck. So that's how it works really. Those are the two different ways, but it's two different mentalities, isn't it?
I mean, if you wear with prosthetics, the other thing is half of your character is already done by the look. And with anthropic is the head that have got lots of different expressions. And what we do is before we get in the head, for a day before, 2 days before, we go through looking at the expressions of the face, and then with the puppeteer who's operating, we figure out where and what and how we are going to do this. So every time, you go with your dialogue as well, right? Don't you?
Yes.
And we kind of form cues in the dialogue. At this point in a dialogue, the eyebrow will go up, or there will be a smile coming up, or frowns, or whatever. And what we have to do is learn body language, and we can bring out that body language to make it work with the head.
Yeah, that's it, because there's what people don't realise is that every creature, especially we're all in the Maz's castle scene in The Force Awakens, and in that there was about 30 creatures, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and every creature had its own little team, its own little a pit team, and it would be somebody would be operating the head as a puppeteer, 2 people would be helping you in and out of the costume, and then you'd also have an earpiece where you'd have a choreographer who was your eyes and your ears, because a lot of the time we couldn't see and we couldn't hear, so they'll be directing you. So you've got this whole squad of people. So the whole performance of these creatures, a lot of people think we just get in it and then we run around. There's so many people that actually bring the character to life that you're just a part of that.
So you guys are actually running around with a big team of people behind you then, sort of making things sort of tweak up and
hiding
down.
under the tables with mob controls and looking at screens and
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, puppeteers are really, really funny, because there was a time I was being operated on, a puppeteer was operating me, and there was a time when some of the crew people or somebody knew or didn't realize what was happening, and the guy would be way up there looking at me and his monitor as well, and in between decks or setups, the guy will be coming up to them and going, "Oh, who are you operating? See that little guy over there? Yeah, I'm up, that little thing I'm operating. When I lift, when I press that, his arm will lift, and I can hear everything. And he'll go 1, 2, and 3, and he won't press anything. I can go boom, and he'll get one of the people as well. But in between, we do have fun like that. But it's very important that sometimes we get 2 people talking to us at the same time. A puppeteer and a choreographer will be going left, go straight now, or turn 2 o'clock, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's right. You've got 2 earpieces. So one earpiece you've got the choreographer, and then the other earpiece you've got the puppeteer. So you've got one telling you about the movement, and the other one is doing the same thing.
You have to multitask your hearing, and also with bringing movement and the character to life, sometimes we're given a fat suit to wear, so it makes you walk a little bit differently, and the way that the head is positioned, sometimes the character can only look like down, and so there's lots of things that are taken into consideration. And then we have the choreographer who teaches us, okay, this character's got this kind of backstory and it's going to walk like this, and it's up to us to, okay, let's do this, and how are we going to do it, and just bring it to life that way.
Absolutely, it's amazing. I mean, you guys must be able to only have a very small field of view when you're doing this, and you've got this huge cumbersome suit on, and I can imagine you're sort of exaggerating everything you're doing to be able to
It
get that.
depends on the size of it. I mean, if it's, for example, we all wear more animatronic heads where they try and give us sight as much as they could, but it all steams up and you can't really see. But there's other the big creatures that you might be inside. Then they'll give you a video monitor, so that there'll either be a little camera on the front, and you'll have a little screen, so you can actually look at the screen as you're going around. Now the perspective is all out, so it's very difficult to still perform it. But at least it gives you an idea of what's in front of you and what you can see.
And counting helps. I think when we're rehearsing, sometimes you're rehearsing without the head, so you can see where you're going, and it's worth always counting how many steps you're going to take straight or to the left or right. So when you've got the head on and your vision is very limited, at least you know roughly
It doesn't
what
work.
to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just hope that everyone else that's surrounding you doesn't trip you up on the way. I guess.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah.
That does
It would
happen.
definitely happen if I was following you around. I can tell you that.
Not only that, when we got crowns or extras in the scene, and they are moving about in the rehearsals, probably they might not be moving about. And when we start filming and they are moving about, and you go, see, I've got them in my way, what do I do? And you start elbowing them or kicking them out of your way or whatever. You have to get to your mark and then move on from
We
that
don't.
mark.
No, we don't.
But the guys with the animatronics are absolutely battering them out of the way.
We leave it to Kiran. he makes way for all of us.
Kieran's been doing this a very, very long time. Me and Arti, obviously put our time in and played creatures for many years, but Kiran, was it like 40 years or something?
40 years.
40 years he's been, you've probably seen him. So we learn from him, but so I don't think you don't have the patience these days, do you? Get out of the way!
You have to do that, otherwise you can't hit your mark. And the timing and everything goes, really bad. So you really have to, get people out of the way.
Kiran, next time I'm going to do it, but then they'll think it's you.
Definitely.
Well, listen, we've all seen The Force Awakens. Well, I'm taking it everyone has. Must all be excited. There's got to be loads of questions out there. Do you have any questions for the panel? Anybody out there want to ask some questions straight away?
How many creatures do you guys each play in?
I did about 7 different characters. Tito was the main one. When Ray was policing our trunk in the beginning of the movie, there was that little character who came up to her when I kept walking over wherever the language was. I played that. In the Mars bar, I was playing a character with a blue face. What else? We said
We both did a character called the Fueler.
Fueler.
There were 2 of us in
Right.
fat suits.
we did, and then we said
Gonk droid.
Android. What else? There were like several characters that I ended up doing.
Yeah, so I did 2. I did a guy called Varmic, who's the furry husk creature, and also in Maz's Castle in a different scene. I was one of the guys that I think we called them like mushroom heads, but I can't remember what they were called. They had like these long heads, and I wore that, which was basically Varmic was an animatronic head, very, very articulate, and whereas the mushroom heads were a little bit less advanced, and they would just put on masks, so that was quite easy. So it's just like, get Paul in that, get him in when you don't know when to see. So we all sort of jumped into each other's suits every now and then on some stuff. So.
And
And I did obviously the Gonk Power Droid and the Fueler in the fat suit. I also played a character called Gwelly Spagnoro, who's got a trunk, and it's in Maz's Castle. And obviously the motion capture double for Maz Kanata.
And one of the funny things was when we were preparing for the movie, and there was a sculptor called Ivan Masella, And Ivan turned around to me and he goes, Kiran, I'm designing a character that's going to look like you and you're going to play that character. And that character was that blue face.
It does look like you.
Yeah, it does look like me. It does look like me. And yeah, that character was designed around my face.
If any of you have got a copy or are looking to get a copy of the Art of Star Wars, it mentions about Kiran that this particular character was designed for
You
his
did, you
eyes.
did the band as well, though, right? You were in the
Yeah,
band?
oh yeah, I was in the band as
Yeah.
well. I was playing
Shah now.
the wind instrument in that one. I forgot about that.
I had a question to ask for you guys. I imagine, you know, when you've got you've got these big sort of prosthetics on you, you're trying to do all, you're concentrating so hard on what you're doing. Have you looked back at any of your performances and thought, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way if only I'd have known from a different angle, or I'd have known the camera was here,
Yeah,
or
probably
something
all of them.
All the time.
Well, that's the perfect example, actually. It's a good question, because when I watch back The Force Awakens, as they go into the castle, I'm the first creature that you see that the camera follows around the room. Now, I couldn't see what I was doing. I didn't know where the camera was. I was just being directed by the earpiece, and we did, I don't know, maybe four or five times doing that. So when I watch back on it now, I actually see my character just like looks back and then carries on and then walks off. Now, if I'd known the camera had been this side, I would look this way, look longer, I'd probably hang around for a little bit. But,
that's that steady cam shot, isn't it?
I think they say, oh, you look really in character, but what I'm doing is I can't see where I'm going, so I'm trying to look at the He's like, left, right, and I'm doing it.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that after every setup, I don't watch monitors. I did at the very beginning of my career, and I changed my characters, and the directors didn't like it. They were really getting Kiran, why are you changing it? And I went back, I couldn't, and they were not what you are doing is right, and not what you are looking at.
You're second guessing yourself if you see it when as you're doing it, and change it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't watch monitors anymore. And when I see the movie, and then first time I see the movie, I'm critical about what I've done. And I do go, yeah, I could have done even better than that, or I could have done this or that all the time, yeah.
That's worrying. After 40 years, you're still that critical of yourself. That is that. But we get another question from the audience there.
What were your favourite and least favourite parts about doing the film?
Favourite for me was holding the lightsaber. Least favourite, there wasn't. I think everything about it
Probably
is the same.
finishing it, right? Not doing more.
Yeah.
Not doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's your last day, you just want to do more and more,
Yeah.
and more characters and more days.
And you get withdrawal symptoms when you finish. It's like, oh my god, it's finished, and I'm not seeing everyone again. And
Space Dad, yeah.
no more craft.
I think also seeing the main cast, because we were in Magic Castle, we got to see Chewbacca and Han Solo, and hang out with Han Solo and Chewbacca for a week. It was amazing. If you're a fan, I was saying to somebody earlier, I said, what's it like? I said, if you're a fan of Star Wars, whatever you imagine it's like being in a Star Wars film, it's exactly like that. It's as amazing as you think it will be.
And whenever Chewbacca came on set, people just wanted to hug him. So they had to make, a number of suits because one just got really worn out.
Yes.
It's all free though.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes was playing Kiran. And what happened was that JJ turned around to the voice coach called Andrew Jax. Andrew and I have known each other from Lord of the Rings anyway. And Andrew, when we were in Abu Dhabi, on the first day, I was having lunch, and Andrew spotted me and he came round to me and he went, Kiran, I've been asked to sit down with you and create a language. And I went, what? And he goes, we go to create a language for Tito, or we go sit down and work it out and work out your dialogue in English, and then create the whole thing in gibberish language. And that was quite fun. Very hard to do, something really hard. First time, and that's why whenever after doing that, And whenever I thought about a lot of the rings and stuff like that, and thinking, wow, talking must be really brilliant if you can invent the alphabet, the grammar and everything in the language. It's really hard, but I mean it took me about 3-4 days to work with Andrew, just to do about 4 or 5 lines of dialogue, and just to invent a completely new language.
Very cool.
Wow, amazing.
Are you guys all going back to do episode 8? Are you getting to do any more work?
Huh?
Are you guys getting to do more work on episode 8?
We can see.
Are they filming episode 8?
Wait and see. When the movie comes up, probably you'll find out whether we are in or not.
Right. Question at the back there.
Given that this
Can you not scream? Just shout the question.
given that there's so much digital effects in films these days, do you think it's important to keep sort of championing the traditional means of doing
Practical.
that?
Yeah, of course. I think what's great about the Force Awakens and what Neil Scanlon and the creature department did is they brought back creature making on a scale that we haven't seen since Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, all of these great movies. And now they've seen that Star Wars makes billions and they use practical creatures. Hopefully other films will do the same.
And it keeps us working.
Yeah. But then again, you do a lot of mocap, don't you?
Yeah.
It's always that, but it's
Well, Arti has got into new technology, but we are stuck in the
suits. I want to do a bit of mocap. What's it like compared to mocap, compared to actually being in the suit or doing the creature without the suit?
It's a lot more comfortable because it's a grey and black suit and the dots. So every single movement you do, it captures it. So with Maz Kanata, it was Lupita's idea. She sat down with JJ and decided that Maz would have a limb. So Lupita came to me and said, look, Arti, we're both going to wear a weight on our leg. And I think it was a right leg. So every day we'd wear a weight on our legs to make us look like we've got a limb. But also with the mocap, we had the dots on the weight as well. So you can see that the character has a limb. And throughout the day, having this weight on, I was a bit conscious that one leg was going to get a bit larger than the other. So I would swap the weights around now and again. But with motion capture, you've got you're in, it's called a black room as well. So, and they've got screens in front of us, and obviously filming with the actors and doing everything that you would as an actor and creature performer. You also go into a room and these dots, like they capture everything in a black. It's very scientific. I mean, I will try and explain, but even I'm getting a little bit confused. But it's a lot of fun, and it's your actual movement. So with regards to creatures, when you are walking, doing everything, bringing it to life, it's the same kind of thing. So, Maz, she had a very quick walk, so I would walk very quickly as well. So it's very similar to doing creature work, I'd say, except that the suit is a lot more comfortable.
The only difference, because I've been doing more motion capture for a long time as well, the only difference is when you are physically in something, you got muscles, or you got new muscles that you never think you will have, and that gives you restriction in movement, or gives you something where you're working with that. With more gap, you have to imagine all of that.
Right, I see what you're saying. So with the suit, if it's restrictive, then you have to work with the restriction and change, work it into the character. But if you haven't got that, then you're free to do whatever you like.
You're free to do. Yeah. But the only problem with mocap is that it becomes so easier, and sometimes that restriction does help you. And like when you are doing a wall in mind, and when you are doing a wall, you are using all those muscles, you are tensing them up and all that. And because my background is mime, for me, mocap can easier, because then I knew exactly what muscles to use, what muscles to tense up when, and let go of the muscles and start using other muscles or body. I mean, body language is the most important thing in both.
Yeah.
In both. But mocap is easier, but
you do fall into full sense of freedom with mocap. Or when you see people like Andy Circus doing the egg, you can imagine because egg have got muscles around their neck, and they can't really turn around and look back. They can only go that far, and if they want to look back, they have to turn the whole body in order to see behind them. And in mocap, if you are not careful, you will end up turning your head right round, because you got to imagine that you got muscles on your neck, and you got to relearn new techniques of body language in mocap.
Remembering to stay in character, and this is what the character moves like, and they've got a story behind them, and that's why they like this, just remembering that, which helps.
I forgot what the question was.
I'm just imagining lunchtime on the set with everyone still in character coming up. It's going to be absolute carnage, isn't it? Is that going to stay in character even at lunchtime?
No, nobody stays in character.
You know what's funny? I think in Maz's castle, you're talking away to people, you're in costume, and then at the end of the day, when everybody gets out of costume, like people will come up and say, "Oh, I'll see you tomorrow." I'm like, "Who are you?" You're talking away all day, but then you don't recognise what they really look like.
Somebody said, sorry, Kurt, somebody said earlier what was the worst part about it. I've just thought of something. I was in costume on the set in Maz's castle, having a great time, being in Star Wars, and then the head comes off and you take a break, and then someone came over and went, "Did you see Mark Hamill?" I went, "Huh?" He was just standing right behind you. He just came to have a look at everything, and he was checking it all out, and he was standing right behind you. I was like, I can't believe it. Miss it.
It rather happened, but I remember when I did my first Ed movie, Greystoke, and we were rehearsing playing primates. And we went, when we were rehearsing, we went through improvisation, and improvisation turned into a whole day thing. Even in our lunch break, we would walk like a biped, but like a chimp, and going to the canteen or restaurant in the studio and behave like apes. And we were told by the choreographer, Peter Elliott, that you are not coming out of your character. You are going to stay like that. Kiran, we are working, and we were eating like eggs. That's right. And I needed help, because when we were playing the chimpanzee, I was a baby chimp on a Greystoke, and it helped me to become that chimp by doing that. So sometimes it does help to stay in the character.
I don't know why the green room is like that now, though, today. So I don't think we do any grace with it. Do you know, time is caught to go. Maybe we get one other quick question. Has anybody got one last question just at the back there?
We hear that Simon Pegg and Daniel Craig are in there as well. I was wondering if there's any other cameos that we don't know of?
Well, looking at the Blu-ray, found out that Peter Jackson was there.
There was some of JJ's friends were in the canteen.
Yeah, exactly. And there was Maori actor from Lord of the Rings, was in Star Trek.
Who's that?
God, the name has gone off my head now.
There's all the cameos that are in it are on the internet, and people have found out about.
Yeah.
There's no secret things that people don't know about. Everything's out now, really.
Apparently Mark Hamill was there as well, if you just turned around. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's still upsets me. Because we're all big fans of the film as well as anyone else, so working on it is a dream. So when you get the chance to meet, I should have been happy with Han Solo and Chewbacca, but Mark Hamill.
Ladies and gentlemen, time has caught us up. Arti, Kiran, Paul, give a massive round of applause.
That's the second time I've seen him.